That's yours.
Oh, it's mine?
Yeah.
From what?
Yard House,
Oh, okay.
cheesecake, strawberry.
Okay. Well, thank you, Yard House.
Go ahead, open the floor for any questions? I hear what James had.
Yeah, Mike, you guys have won 6 in a row here at home. Just, it's been an emphasis for you, but it's also an emphasis for the guys before you about protecting your home court. Just how much you need them to sort of sense that and keep it rolling, and how good has the crowd been to help out with that?
Yeah, James, you ended it with hitting it right on the head with the crowd. When we can play in front of our crowd, we want to take advantage of it. It's as simple as that. The energy that they bring to the building, they bring to us, second to none, gets us going. And so every time we can be in front of them, like I said, we want to do well. Hopefully we can get that win so we can build upon our record in front of our home base. Because it's tough. It's tough out on the road. It's tough to get wins, period, but especially out on the road. And so it's an emphasis, not just for us, probably for everybody around the league. You know, is to try to protect your home court.
Far right.
Coach, I'm gonna go a little off the grid. I'm doing a story on the Christmas games, and you've obviously coached in your share. When did you see it go from, okay, these are just part of the schedule, to now being this huge deal?
Ooh, it's a great question. It's been a while. You know, even when I was head coach back in Cleveland, in the mid to late 2005 to 10, it was a big deal if you're playing on Christmas. That means that people around the league and not just around the league, people around the country respect your play, and they want to see you play because it's a national deal. So. It's an honor to play on Christmas Day, even though some people may think, oh man, I want to be with my family, which we all do. But then there is a flip side of knowing that you're the only show going on, and whether people are watching it closely or not, it's on their TV, and that's a big honor.
Just a quick follow-up. I find it interesting, the 2009 game with the Lakers, you were with Cleveland, and you guys were up big, and they started throwing foam fingers on the court. Do you remember that game?
I don't. Did we win?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sound, yeah. 102-87 was the final
Oh,
score.
I like that.
All right.
Go ahead,
Yeah, Coach, Keegan has had some tough defensive assignments. DeJounte Murray on the trip, I think like Donovan Mitchell earlier in the year. What have you seen from him defensively when dealing with those big time assignments?
He's ready to take on the challenge. It's hard. You're not stopping anybody in this business, especially one-on-one. It's a team defensive effort that we got to have. And Keegan has shown that he's long enough, he's athletic enough, he works hard enough, he's smart enough to be able to match up with those types of guys. And that versatility is what you always look for as a head coach from guys in your lineup. It's great because he's a rookie and he's kind of going through the fire now. But I'm gonna coach him like everybody else. If he makes mistakes, I'm gonna be on him. I'm gonna coach him, correct him, and he's our guy. He's gonna still be out there, but there's no easy matchups if you're starting.
Sean.
Mike, Cameron Payne, pretty well-known player in this league, but how do you feel he's filled in the absence of Chris Paul during the stretch?
He's done a fantastic job. I think they might be 6-2 or something like that with Chris Paul out, and he's been aggressive offensively. He's shown the ability to score from all 3 levels. Not only that, he's finding guys and he's putting that ball on time, on target, and getting guys some easy looks, especially in the pick and roll game when he's getting downhill. And so to be able to have a young fella like that, be able to grow and develop, especially when there was some question mark as to whether or not he should be in the league. And now he's your starting point guard and he's getting it done. It's fantastic for the Suns, but just as fantastic as it is for their team. He seems like a good guy from afar. You're excited for young guys to be able to grow and develop, especially into a starting position on a winning team like the Suns.
Mike, are you seeing anything in the last couple games in terms of your guys' three-point shooting numbers? I mean, it's the first 2 games that you've made, single-digit threes. Is there anything you're seeing in terms of the type of threes you're getting? Are you satisfied? Is it just a shooting slump? How do you look at kind of that anomaly in the last 2 games?
No, we're a good shooting team, and, you know, we're not gonna shoot at a high level the whole year. And so it's just the ebbs and the flows of the season. When I look back at our shot selection, for the most part, it's still pretty good. You know, I want our guys to play fast, I want them to play loose, but have some discipline to their game. And as long as we're not getting too many contested threes, which I don't feel we are, then I'm more than okay with it.
Jason, and then we're going to
Mike, to follow up on that, Keegan, I'm curious what you see him going through at the offensive end of the floor. I'm sure you know what the numbers are recently, and is it kind of a product of defenses scouting, learning him, adjusting to him, or do you think there's more to it than that?
Well, it's that and some. You know, obviously, he's a rookie, you know, and he's going to go through those ups and downs. We're about 20 games in, and if you include the 20 games plus the preseason games and the summer league games he played, he's probably played about the same amount of games he played all of last year at Iowa State, and we're only a fourth of the way through. And so, you know, dealing with the amount of games, the practices, you know, now he's, you know, got a different schedule he's got to adjust to, and some other things, starting as a rookie. And, you know, the reality of it is, I think I said this to you guys the other day, his situation is a little different than Oklahoma City, Houston, even Detroit, and Orlando, at least right now. Because, you know, those guys, they want to be in the playoffs, but right now they're not. Maybe they will at some point during the year. And so they're going to let those guys play through a ton of mistakes. And a lot of times those teams are playing through those guys. And then the guys that were drafted after him, besides Ivy, that most of those guys, if not all of them, are probably coming off the bench, you know, and so the pressure is different. And if he makes a mistake, I'm gonna jump his ass, just like the rest of the guys, you know. He's gonna get coached, and he knows it. He's been great with it, and so he just has to keep trying to be him. But there are a lot of factors out there, starting with him being a rookie, that we'll see. He's gonna have some highs, and he's gonna have some lows, and he's gonna fight his way through it and be better for it at the end of the year.
Mark, and then Tony.
Mike, we're at a stage where De'Aaron's playing at such an elite level where if he doesn't have a great game, people become, you know, apoplectic with bewilderment and shock. How does he get back to scoring at his average against a team like Phoenix that's number 3 defensively in rating? Well, how does it work to his strengths, or what kind of special challenges do you guys face, does he face against the Phoenix defense?
Well, you know, I had to call more plays for him, and I told him I would because he agreed that he would name his son Mike. So you know, so he's gonna get the Phoenix B-way. Every play is gonna be a pick and roll for him, just because he and Rasay agreed to that. Besides that, you know, hey, you said it too. You know, he's a heck of a player, and he's won a lot of games for us in this short season so far. Not only has he carried us down the stretch, especially offensively, but even defensively, he's come up big at times. And he just has to go out there and play his game, stay aggressive, stay confident like the rest of the team. But again, this is all new to all of us. You know, I don't know how many guys have been on a 6 or 7 game winning streak in that locker room in their pro careers. You know, let alone a 3 or 4 game winning streak. And you know, we're going to play some tough teams. Teams are you know, gunning for us now. You know, maybe in the past, teams might have used our game as a rest game. We're going to rest this guy, rest that guy. No, now teams their ears perk up, their eyes perk up, and they know they got to come play when they face us out on the floor. And they're paying attention to the scout report. They know how De'Aaron's playing, so they're paying attention to him. And it's just a process that we all have to go through and adjust to figure out how we can stay at this level, you know, and while moving upward or forward. And you know, I always tell the guys, it's crazy part about it. It's almost easier to climb and sort of get there, but once you get there, to stay there, woo, it's something else, because teams are coming after your neck every single night, and that's part of what he's facing. But he'll be fine at the end of the day.
Tony. and then
Yeah,
Chris.
Coach Brown, DeAndre Ayton, been putting up some exceptional monsters numbers. I think he had 20 rebounds the other night. Just wanted to get your thoughts on him because he's going to be that man in the middle.
No, he's fantastic. He's a max player, or close to a max player. He was #1 pick or whatever he was, and he's been in the league for a while. They've won at a high level for a while, so what he's doing is, to me, it's not unexpected. He's that talented, and he's just doing what he should be doing, especially for what he's getting paid and where that team is and where he is in his career. But he's a handful for anybody just because of his touch around the rim, his ability to run, his ability to rebound, his length, his athleticism, all that other stuff, just makes him an exceptional player, especially in that situation.
2 more, Chris.
Mike, I'm curious if the start of the season has sort of recalibrated what you think this team is maybe capable of from a ceiling perspective.
Yeah, it's a good question. Yes and no, because we've done some good things. I like how hard the guys have been working. I told the guys at around the game 20 mark, you'll start to see some separation because of the newness of the season, whereas it is about worn off. And now you're kind of starting to get into the daily grind of what an NBA season's like when it comes to practices, shoot around, game day, and all that other stuff. And you'll see a little bit of separation because it's hard, and not everybody's capable of doing it. Not everybody's talented enough of doing it. And then right before All-Star break, you'll see another level of separation. And then after All-Star break, the bad teams, that's when they're giving in. And so we have to understand that as a group. We have to know that, now it's time to try to turn it up. And that doesn't mean just on the floor during the game. Our focus has to be even better during practice. Our focus has to be even better during shoot around. Those little things matter because it's going to get harder. Your teams that are good, that have been good for a while, that have a winning core, the Warriors, the Clippers, even the Lakers, those teams are going to start to figure it out, start to rise to the top. And if we want to rise with them and stay there with them, we got to bring a little extra to the table because, again, this is all new to us. So I say that just with a little caution that, yeah, we've done some good things. I think our ceiling is high. But now, especially around this 20-game mark, how can we respond to the newness of and the excitement of the season that helped carry us the first 20 games, if I'm making sense? I don't know. I don't know the answer, but I'm looking forward to seeing how we turn out especially these next 6 to 10 games.
All right, last one, Matt.
Mike, you've shared with us in the past challenges that you've issued towards players or the team. De'Aaron, for example, during the San Antonio game. Have there been any individual or team challenges issued tonight after the Celtics game?
The one thing is that I challenge our guys with is, on the road in an environment like that against probably the best team in the NBA. In essence, you have to win the possession game. You have to take care of the basketball. And we didn't do a good job of it. We had too many unforced live ball turnovers that hurt us going the other direction. And so challenge the group with that. And then, Domas and Foxy, I challenge them both. They're our 2 best players. They're 2 superstars, guys that can carry a team, and they've carried us most of the season this year. They have to be better. They have to sacrifice their game to make others better on the team. And what does that mean? I can't help them in every single situation. That's why they get paid the money they get paid. And that's why they're labeled what they're labeled as quote-unquote superstars, stars, all-star caliber type players. They have to figure out some of that on their own. And sometimes, when it comes to sacrificing your game, for instance, like a guy like Foxy, maybe he's got to get into the paint, draw the defense, and find somebody instead of settling at times. And I'll never call neither one of those 2 guys off their shots because they've earned the right. If they feel like they can get a bucket, go get a bucket for us. We need you two to be confident and be able to do that. But maybe Foxy may need to do that every once in a while on the road against a team like Boston. Domas may need to keep rolling. And even though he may not get it all the time or where there may be a mismatch because they switch, he's got to roll and engage that defender. So now when we drive, we can finish because he's engaged with that defender, you know, as opposed to popping or short rolling where his defenders can play two or clog that middle. And so there are things that those two guys can do that they're going to have to do in order for us to beat a team like Boston in their place, especially at the end of a long road trip.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Thank you again.